welcome to Ultimate Guinness World Records, the show that the phrase, "please don't try this at home," was invented for, as you're about to see. On today's show, we have everything you could wish for from a show of this kind. I'm talking about the strongest teeth in France, the biggest tyre you've ever seen, flipped over by a man with possibly the biggest arms you've ever seen. Back to France for an attempt at the largest game of Simon Says, or Jacques Says in this case. Spain again for some hip-grinding hula-hula action, and this girl who goes round in circles getting nowhere. Sweden to see some high-octane snow scooter long jumping. And yes, you've guessed it, we join our French friends once more for some underwater archery. Ooh, I think you got the point. Right then, let's pile straight into it. Now, you all know that calcium gives you strong teeth. Well, this next guy must have had more calcium than a weightlifter has pies. Meet Belgium's Georges Christen. For all you Guinness World Record fans out there, you may well recognise this man, Georges Christen, who already has the Guinness World Record for tearing apart the most phone books with his bare hands. And no, you're not seeing things. He really is bending iron with his teeth. However, what Georges has to do now is carry this teenager over a distance of 10 metres just by using his teeth. Here she is at the weigh-in, ready to take part in what we hope will be a shattering of a world record. Georges there just making sure that she's sat right in the centre of the wood to help with the balance. Too far back and she'll fall backwards onto him. Too far forwards and she could well snap out his front teeth. Georges wanting plenty of support from the crowd. And there he is signalling that as soon as he has her in his teeth, he wants them to clear well out of the way. OK, let's see if he can break the record without breaking his own teeth, or indeed the bones of his young guest. She seems safe. She's up there on the chair high above the ground. Fingers crossed, everyone, please. And Georges is off, making steady progress across the open ground. Hang on in there, incisors. I can't believe he's carrying all that weight. He's crossed the line, but has he got himself a new world record? She's certainly relieved, and he's looking very pleased. Once more, we see him take a good deep bite into the wood. She's clinging on for dear life, and the two guys are there by her side just in case it should all go wrong. His dentist bill must be immense, but congratulations, he's carried her 10 metres in 7.5 seconds. Georgie boy, we salute you. You've got to admit, that was impressive. But our next record attempt simply has to be described as flipping amazing. Nope, I'm not cursing. I'm not. Here's why. Please permit me to introduce you to this man mountain, a Mr. Israel Garrido Sanguinetti from Barcelona in Spain. What he's got to do is move that massive tyre 20 metres all the way across the studio floor to that blue line and back again in as fast a time as possible. I'd say he's looking quietly confident, but with arms and legs that size, who could blame him? Let's not forget, though, that this tyre weighs a staggering 925 pounds. That's the equivalent weight of 103 very healthy babies. 3, 2, 1, he's off. And already off to a dodgy start. This does not bode well. 10 seconds on the clock and he's only flipped it over twice. That's better. He seems to have found his rhythm. Don't forget, he's got to flip that tyre 10 metres to the other side of the studio and then 10 metres all the way back in as fast a time as possible. And that's the first half of the challenge completed. And he's off. Great technique. Push the tyre down onto the floor as hard as possible and hopefully gain a couple of extra inches as it skids across the floor. 40 seconds on the clock, 3/4 of the way there. This is looking very, very good. Struggling now, you can see the tension in his face. One more flip should do it. Let's just hope he's not too tired. He's not. Great, he's made it. An amazing feat of brute force in the face of a wall of pure rubber. The man is absolutely exhausted, but he's still got enough energy left to pull himself up and scream with delight. That is absolutely amazing. And once more, he punches the air in delight. And who's this? Who's this young lady? Steady on, love. Hasn't he lifted enough for one day? Wow. It makes me want to start picking up tyres. Now, let's see what our official adjudicator says. And there you have it. A radial steel-cord rubber tyre weighing 925 pounds, pushed 20 metres across a studio floor in 55.31 seconds. That, my friend, is a new Guinness World Record. Just look at the power in his arms. I bet I know who ate all the pies. You've got to admit, we've seen 2 remarkable record attempts already, and we're not even at the halfway point. So, are you ready for more? I hope so, because right now, it's time to voyage to France for the biggest game of Simon Says you've ever clapped your eyes on. Now, before any confusion creeps in, I should explain that the game you're about to see goes by the name of Simon Says in the UK. However, over the water in France, they prefer the name Jacques Says. And for anyone who doesn't know the rules, you have to do what the man says only when he starts his sentence with Jacques Says. Or as they say in France, Jacques a dit. They all seem set, they all seem ready. 3, 2, 1, here comes the first question. Jacques Says, lift your right arm in the air. Oh, lift your left arm in the air, but not Jacques Says. You're out, tough luck, try again. Should have listened harder at birthday parties. Jacques Says, scratch your head. Put your hand on your stomach. That's the second time she's got it wrong. I think he just told her to get lost. She's being escorted out by security. She really is bad at this game. Oh no, it's okay. Just light refreshment. He's playing on his own. Jacques Says, lift both your hands in the air. Jacques Says, take your shoes off. Good job, you can't smell this one. Jacques Says, put the shoe in your friend's face. I know the French cheese smells bad, but I wasn't quite sure the shoes had the same pungent smell. Jacques Says, pretend you're Jacques Chirac. OK, what's the next question going to be? Whatever it was, I didn't like it. He's telling him to sit down, they're saying no. There you go, Jacques Says sit down. Jacques now says, swap places with the person behind you. Well, some are and some aren't. Not quite sure what he said there, but they're smiling, so that's all that matters. Jacques Says, dance with the person next to you. She's shaking her head no. This young lady likes it though. She's even got on her friend's knee. And the girl in blue next to us doing her own version of the tango. Looks like she's stuck on permanent loop. He wants 2 people to run as quick as they can into the swimming pool. Oh my word, 2 lads have done it. There's no stopping these 2 nut jobs. In they go. Trousers up, shoes on, big breath, kasploosh. Hey, nice one, lads. That'll certainly call you off. Well, this game really has gone to new heights, or should I say new depths. Jacques Says, give everybody a cuddle. Ah, what a nice set of people. Jacques Says, try and pull a fart sound on your face. I don't think they want to do that one. OK, let's find out what the next question is. Attention, Jacques Says. Jacques Says. No more people in the pool. Something about Barry White. I thought Barry White was a singer, not a professional diver. Oh well. Oh, that's Barry White. Silly me. But that's it, time's up. Well, I've got to say, that looked like great fun. And as a special treat, he's going to run round screaming with his hand in the air. Good lad. The answer, sadly, is Simon says you've not broken the record, because whilst it was a lot of fun, the actual record involved 174 participants and was held in Chatham, Ontario, Canada on the 5th of May 2003. But don't be too downhearted, because here's a clue to what we've got coming up after the break. Yep. Coming right up, we'll be seeing more funky footwork from this hula-hooping disco diva. She'll be spinning, twisting, bending, flexing, and indeed hulaing her way into the records book. Or so she hopes. Why, I hear you ask? Ha! Well, why not? Just look at Laura go. And this is her just having fun. If you thought you knew a lot about Guinness World Records, then try this question. Vesna Voldic holds the Guinness World Record for the highest fall survived without a parachute. But how high was her fall? Was it A, 500 metres, B, 5,270 metres, or C,